Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kim. Today I'll be doing my makeup and I'll be talking to you guys about that time that my husband had COVID while I didn't have any symptoms. I'm going to be using Fenty for my primer and foundation. So the first ones who actually had COVID in the family were both of my husband's parents, and initially they were just at home and my husband was the one taking care of them. And mind you, my husband was extra careful. They were staying in their rooms while my husband would bring them food in their kitchen, and they were all wearing masks. So they were quite safe, especially when it comes to hygiene and all. They were actually the strongest and healthiest people that I know, so I was surprised how badly the disease hit them, and they were sent to the hospital just like a few weeks after that, and they stayed there for about a month. I think that was around New Year's Eve. Just gonna put this on. After his parents were discharged, he was still having negative COVID tests because it was required for his job, and January 21 he was still negative, but February 1 something was up. I'll be using Anastasia for my eyebrows and eyeshadow. He didn't have a lot of symptoms, but it was Monday evening when he felt like he was having a fever. Mind you, I was still holding my baby at that time, and I was using the no-touch thermometer. I took his temperature, and his temperature was 101 degrees Fahrenheit. It wasn't that high, but definitely not normal. For some reason, we didn't even think that it was COVID. I used to do this with my eyebrows all the time when I was working then. Tuesday morning, his fever went away and we actually thought that he was back to normal.
You serious?
I'll be using an Urban Decay anti-aging primer. His blood pressure was a little above normal, but nothing too alarming. You know the dumbest thing that I ever did on Thursday evening? I ate his leftover tinola.
You what?
I didn't even think about the fact that he just had fever a few days before and he could be infectious. The next morning, he decided to take the COVID test to be sure. He had the result of the rapid test during that day, and guess what? It was positive. I really wanted to take the test too because, of course, I'm taking care of our then 3-month-old baby, but there's no other people who could drive us there. I can't drive still, and I don't want to let my husband drive because we're supposed to be self-isolating. So we just ended up staying at home for at least about 2 weeks until he took another test. During that time, I didn't experience any kind of symptom except for the fact that I was so exhausted. However, my husband experienced some symptoms after he tested positive. He just stayed in one of our guest rooms and he was using a separate bathroom while my baby and I were staying in the master bedroom. He also had some dry cough. So he was just inside the room the entire time, and I was the one who was bringing him food in front of his room or in front of his door, and he would just pick it up by the time that I would leave. We didn't share utensils, and as much as possible, I actually had him use disposable ones. So luckily we have disposable forks, spoons, and extra plates there. I know it's not very economical, but this time I was just so desperate because I cannot have COVID. I don't want to have COVID because I'm taking care of my baby and we're breastfeeding. I don't even let my baby out of the room, so she was just staying in the master bedroom the entire time. So we didn't even go near the nursery because the nursery is near the guest bedroom. For the most part, my husband didn't experience any extreme symptom except for the fact that he was just bored because he was just in the room the whole day, but other than that, he was pretty much okay. He felt some muscle aches too, and he was just sleepy most of the time. So I think the common symptom is fatigue. We wore masks the entire time, and my husband didn't go to the common areas like the kitchen or living room. There were times that he actually went to the backyard to get some sun or vitamin D, but that was pretty much it. So every time he would touch like a doorknob or a thermostat to make himself comfortable, he would bring his spray, his disinfectant spray, and a disposable kitchen towel to make sure that everything he would touch, he would disinfect. And even when I touch anything in the kitchen, even though my husband wasn't going there, I would still wash my hands consistently and put sanitizer because I'm just that nervous. Says someone who just ate the leftover food after finding out that her husband had fever. He has his own trash bin in his room, and he's the one who would take out his trash. I didn't touch any of his laundry, so it was just piled up in one basket. I didn't even do my own laundry because I was just too scared to go to the area where my husband is and inhale the virus in the air, if you know what I mean. I was just that paranoid. Let me just put the eyeliner first. Oh man. Over a week of isolation has passed and my husband didn't have any symptoms anymore, so he decided to take the test again, and he tested negative. Did I ever test positive? I don't know. But as far as I know, I didn't have any kind of symptoms. Even my baby didn't have any symptoms. And during the time that my husband was actually infectious or in his infectious state, he was still taking care of my daughter whenever I would like take a shower or take a dump or something like that. But in general, my daughter and I didn't have any symptoms. We were fine. We didn't have the need to actually take the test because we didn't want to go out as well and be exposed. Kind of look like the McDonald's clown. And that, my friends, is a story about that time that my husband had COVID. For my husband's parents, they had it really hard. For my husband, he was able to recover at home, so it hits people differently. As for me and my baby, we didn't have it at all, or so we thought, but we didn't have any kinds of symptoms. So it's different for every person. I say my makeup is pretty good for a trip to the kitchen. If you find this video helpful or entertaining, please give this a thumbs up. If you want to see my usual content on motherhood, you can click over here. If you want to see me cutting my husband's hair during quarantine, you may click over here. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye!